Okay, this is the first live that I've had on this channel of mine, uh, Cobus Precious Metals, about stacking silver or coins or metals, things like of that nature. Um, and like I said in my videos, I used to stack silver, gold not so much. I never liked the volatility of gold, and plus, you know, an ounce of gold was always more than 1 week's take home pay, even 40 years ago. Okay. It was not something I accumulated. And over time, much like my last stack of silver, I did accumulate a good amount of silver. And once it got up to where I more than doubled my money, I got out of it. Okay. If I wanted to wait, I could have done even better, but I didn't have the confidence, and in life you have bills, okay? And we all know that holding physical silver, you know, while it's a great thing, if you need money in a hurry, it's not that instantly uh, converted into a liquid asset. So about a year ago, I was going to retire, and this is when I was looking at things. So you're getting ready to retire. I'm looking at what my investments are. I'm looking at what little I had saved. Um, in terms of that, 401ks never impressed me years, and that's why I started stacking silver back in the 90s and around 2000, because silver did not impress me, or 401ks, and the way the whole investment thing was. The average person will never get ahead the way the system is set up. Okay, you just don't get ahead. It's as simple as that. So when I've been retired about a year, almost exactly 1 year. Okay, so I said, okay, let's look around. I'm looking into what my finances are, making my planning for making a big jump into retirement. And I noticed that silver, you know, I think it was $22 an ounce or something. So, and I'm thinking, and you have to take in, whenever you're thinking about your investments, you take in a lot of things. I'm not an analyst, I'm not an expert or an economist, but you do have to be aware of certain situations and examine them and think about it. Okay. Now, what's going on is, we all like silver, gold. That's these channels are for people who get into it. And usually a lot of them are actually holding the metal. That's what it is. I don't have a ton of it. I didn't go and take 100 grand and put it in some sort of a vaulted IRA account or shares in mines or something. There's several ways you can do it, um, but I just have some of it here physically. Okay, and now when you look at, and the reason I started accumulating it again, okay, is because looking at the whole situation, the U.S. economy is not in good shape. There's a lot of political things going on, and that's what all kind of, it's all tied in, because like when I go on my other channel and talk about the elections and stuff, it's all tied in. What's going on in the country politically is a big deal. It does affect the economy. What the way the government is running this country, and like the one guy said, your economy of a country depends on how your government manages things, and they're not doing a good job. Inflation, everything else, everyone's panicking, everyone's stockpiling, you know, metals, food, water, all kinds of stuff. And we all been waiting, because gold has, since last year, I think it was 1,800 an ounce. Now it's 2,000 something, $8,700 some odd dollars. It hit another all-time high. So gold is shooting up. Now that could be because the central banks are buying up gold and using it as an asset to back their government's currencies. Okay, but silver, it's the silver to gold ratio is disproportionate and has been languishing down there. And a lot of people and a lot of influencers are saying, hey, silver's going to bust out, go off the charts. Okay. And again, if you look at all the indicators, I had one guy, I watched his video today. Good morning, Tyler. I was watching his video and he explained what's called the silver squeeze. Now, I remember whenever you deal with this, you got to deal with commodities and you get your contracts and short position, long position, however they do it. But I guess there's 5 major banks that really have contracts for 30 some odd, 33% of the supply of gold. In other words, they have contracts for about 33% of the annual production, I say gold, of silver. Okay, which silver is also an industrial commodity. It is consumed, it is used in the manufacture of things, whereas gold, not so much. A little bit, but not as much as silver. So everybody's been waiting for the big breakout. Okay, and I wanted to talk about this. In this one video, the fellow, he explained it pretty good that they have to buy up because it's on paper. They really don't have it now because if they're really short, and he said for every dollar silver goes up, these guys lose 3 million or something. So now they have to buy up gold, or they have to buy up the silver. I'm sorry, I keep getting mixed up. Buy up the silver to cover this, to stop the loss. Well, there's a shortage. Some of the mines are tapped out. And now BRICS comes in and says, well, we're going to start buying silver. So it creates a situation where a lot of people have been predicting that silver is going to shoot up. Okay. And this guy used the $32.50 ceiling or point, which we have gone over last Friday. And as of now, it is still climbing. Yep, 34.12. It's going up. It's going up as we speak. Because everyone said with that huge increase, we should wait and see what happens if it doesn't pull back. And we're going up gradually since the market opened today. So we're over 34 at the moment, which is pretty cool. I like it. So a lot of people are saying that with the conditions and all this other stuff, and depending on how these financial institutions have wrote up the contracts, there is a possibility, and he explained it, to where we could go up. Now, he's talking that $50 level or ceiling. And some people say it's going to go up over. It was predicted by PAM to be 36 an ounce by the end of the year, beginning of next year. So you're looking at $36 an ounce spot price. Some people said it's going to go up 40 to 50. And then he said if there's a market collapse, and I doubt very much that silver will go all the way up to say, they're talking $80, $100 an ounce. And I think it's more speculation. A lot of people don't believe it's going to go there. I don't see how it can, because the fact that it's an industrial material and it's consumed, that would just make inflation in the whole world economy go to hell in a handbasket. Will it get up? Let's see, it may get up to $40 an ounce. if there's a serious shortage. But to go up past that $50 level, maybe, maybe not. Some people are saying it's going to go to 90, $100 an ounce. Don't think so. If it gets up to about 40, I'd be happy. I may just get rid of what I got. I don't have that much time left here on this earth, and I really don't think I'm going to hang around and see if it goes up to 80 or 100. Okay. It may or may not, but if it goes that high, something tells me it's going to come down real quick also. And then, trying to liquidate your stuff when it's $40 an ounce. I'm seeing if I can move, a small amount, say like 20 ounces. I'm going to see if I can move 20 ounces at $45 an ounce or something, uh, which maybe I can, maybe I can't. I'm not talking huge numbers. I don't have a room full of monster boxes of Eagles, but yeah, we'll see. But that's my thoughts on it. It's going to be an interesting time, and that's kind of why I got back into stacking, because I had a feeling that things were going to be quite unstable, at least this year and going into next year. And I guess we'll see where we go. The biggest thing I'm worried about is if the economy itself, the U.S. economy collapses, if our stock markets crash, um, it's not going to be good. The global economy is messed up too with the wars and that. And since 2000, 2001, and everything, the interruption of the supply chain, which almost happened again with the longshoremen strike, has really hurt uh, the global economy in terms of commodities. And commodities, not so much gold and silver, like olive oil, wheat, food, you know, uh, they're very unstable times. They're very interesting times. And there's a chance it's kind of like if you think about it, guess, and play the market right, you can make out. And I was talking to a guy who told me he's holding all this silver that he's had for years. I said, "What, it going up? Now is the time to sell it." "Yeah, but they'll pay you in US money, and what's that worth?" I said, "I don't know. You want to just hang on to the silver, indecisively until, you're gone, and then somebody else's problem, not yours. I don't know. I don't know the point of it. The idea is, with me, is if it goes up high enough, that get rid of a part of it, put that in the bank, and once it comes back again, you can reinvest at the lower price if you want, or take your profit out. But the bottom line is, no matter how you look at it, everything costs money. You got to come up with money every month for groceries, your rent, your mortgage, whatever. You know, so I don't know. So if it breaks $100 triple this, which just means hyperinflation is headed in a ride. Yes, Gerald. You know, realistically, if silver goes up to like about 40, $45, I'd say that's probably the max. Chance we'll see it. Made it and lived to see it. Just don't take any wooden nickels. Take shots that politicians want you to take, and instead of an equal run. Yeah, and it's like you said, if it goes up to $100 an ounce, you're talking super hyperinflation. And another thing, when everyone talks about that hyperinflation, even though there's been inflation, I don't believe the US, being the world currency, can have hyperinflation like, these South American countries where you have a banknote which used to be, say $5. Now it's 5,000, and then you see a couple years later it's 50,000 and 500,000. Okay, but the note has about the same value. And then when they redo the economy, all they do is print new money and knock all the zeros off. Okay. Uh, I don't believe we'll see hyperinflation, but yes, if it goes to like $100 or more an ounce, yes, hyperinflation is here. That's not a good sign. And then again, it's like they say, what good are these? You know, how am I going to do with an ounce of silver? Okay, you know that's a problem with the whole situation. Is yeah, silver's nice to have, but you're looking at 90% or 85% of the people out there, to them that's worthless. We're going to have like a little raffle at the Veterans Post for an ounce of silver since it went up. We suggested this, have a little raffle, and one guy, oh no, you got to give people a choice. That's either cash prize or the silver. I don't want silver. I don't, what are you going to do with it? And then they got all and got a giant argument about it, and we scrapped the whole idea. Okay, because really, a lot of people, a vast majority of the people, I went to a flea market and talked to a gentleman. He had some coins, he had other stuff, tools and stuff. And he had a silver eagle. He's asking me if I wanted to buy it, or he showed it to me. And, it's something he had in his pocket. And he wasn't asking a lot of money. He was asking actually a reasonable price for it at the time. Um, I said no. And he goes, yeah, well, when you try to sell this, like just to people at a flea market or something. I know the gun shows used to have people come and sell coins in that at times. I used to go to the gun show, and that kind of stopped because I guess you rent them tables and nobody buys nothing. Debt clock 2019 currently has double the international settlement. Stilling, we'll see reality when the paper contracts versus. Yeah, that's what I watched a video on that. And the guy explained that, and that's an issue because there's a couple of videos out there that were saying the paper, and people have mentioned this, the paper, silver, and the short contracts. I guess there's no silver to back that up, and I guess as silver rises, the one guy explained it, for every dollar it goes up an ounce, they lose so many millions of dollars. And let's just been on here. I've been on here 18 minutes. And let me look. 34.15. Okay, so it's gone up 47 cents silver an ounce. Gold has gone up 17.20 an ounce, which for gold, it's like a fractional percentage. Almost 3 ounces of gold, 100 ounces of silver. Work it. Yeah, see, I was Dana Inc. I don't know what that company does, but I worked in manufacturing all my life. And, what you end up show for if you put your money in a 401k, you ain't got shit. I don't think I got 2 years worth of wages actually saved in the 401k. I had some money in the actual savings account, but for working for 40 years, these investments really didn't do shit. They've gone up, okay, and dropped 40%, and then it's just a readjustment. Then it was up again, but then again, if you look at what an ounce of silver or gold was, gold I remember went up to $1,800 and dropped back down to 11, 12, then went up to 18. Now it's up there again. But the question is, where's it going to be 5, 10 years from now? What you going to end up with? Okay, Tyler, I'm a stacker. I have mining stocks. Yeah, that's one way to do it. Started buying gold at 16.50 an ounce. Yeah, I remember when I could get it for $450 an ounce 45 years ago. Okay. The only thing is that was more than a week's take home pay. And for me to sit on that for 45 years, I had to move. Uh, I lost my job like this guy got laid off. I had to move across the country to find work. I could have went bankrupt. Um, you know, and I could sit here and say, if I kept all the silver that I stacked, if I kept some of the gold that I had, okay, you know, $425 an ounce and go sell it for 2,700, that's a pretty big profit. But I had to live, you know. I did not have, how could I say it, the equity or the comfort zone of steady enough work to be able to save that way. And if I took that 401k money and just put it in like a gold coins and that, yeah, that would have been the way to go. But what are you going to do? Oh, you live up in Chicago? Ooh, I lived in upstate New York. Chicago is rough. Okay, it's another one of the northern cities that's fallen. Up. The city I lived in Utica, we had 125,000 people there, all kinds of major industries, factories that employ 3,000 people in that little town. It's all gone. The population dropped to about 50,000. Half the city's abandoned, and then you got homeless people, and God knows who shows up and lives there. And the whole situation is bad. I live in North Carolina. It's not that terrible, but they have the same crisis here. The homeless are more in the larger cities. I'm lucky I bought a home and my development is more or less, they call it like in a county. The city I'm under, but I'm out. In other words, it takes me 10 to 15 minutes to drive to any type of store from my home. Okay. That's the one downfall of this. But I don't deal with a lot of the crap that you do living in the city, including taxes and all that other stuff. But yeah, it's tough. 401k I cashed out in 2022. Yeah, I mean, I lost, I don't know. I finally took it out of the one place. Somebody suggested I go with this one investment broker, that this one engineer told me is great. And what he did is he just put my money into some kind of fund. I wasn't putting nothing in there. That the fees took all the interest. I went to a credit union and they put me in a mutual fund. And the guy told me it's fee heavy. He goes, "This ain't going to show you the returns," but he goes, you know, "You're not going to lose all your interest." I put it in there years ago, and he was right. And I think they said I made on average 8% over 7 years. And there were some adjustments where, like 15% evaporated overnight and stuff. And you just get tired of it because it don't go. And all I did is I ended up, since interest rates were high, I just took it all out and put it in CDs. And for a few percentage points less. But the only thing is, there's not going to be a stock market crash. I'm not going to make a lot of money, but there's not going to be a stock market crash, and I ain't losing 20% of the value of my account. I'm done with that. It's the way it's been the past 30 years. That's why you never get ahead. Yeah, lithium, uranium, gold mining stocks if you're into that. Shorty and Maples. ASEs and Maples. Yeah, now Maples, the weird thing is you can always get a deal. I don't understand why. Hold on. All right, there we go. Damn, throat's dry. I don't understand why. Okay, Maple Leaves are 4.9s. They're the purest silver government issued coins you can get. They don't change design much. I think they did for anniversaries, but it's simple, much like the Philharmonics. Okay. Um, when you go to sell them, a lot of places will buy them back a spot on Maples. And then I remember when Maples were, if you're only paying a couple bucks over spot for them, they couldn't sell them. And something about they didn't like them with Charles on there. Plus the thing with them all getting spotty. Okay, the Maple Leafs did it for a while, and Britannias would they'd be sealed, and you take them out and they get that milky spotting on there. People go nuts over that. They hated that. Well, at the end of the day, when you go to sell that stuff, they're just looking at an ounce of silver. Okay. Maybe somebody will pay you a little more for a coin, another collector or something, or a dealer that has people that will buy them. But most of these large companies, they're just going to tell you X amount for each type. And the spotting in that really don't make a difference. Kind of does affect the value. You can't really, when they're spotted or milky, you're not going to get top dollar for them. But if it goes up enough, it don't matter. You can make your money and move on. I kind of like the Britannias. I like the Maple Leafs too. My buddy got a roll of them from Costco. I think he only paid 500 and something for a roll. Or it's 20. I think they got 25 maples, or is that Britannia? I forget. But he got a roll of them, and it was under 6, I believe. So whenever he bought those, and silver jumped up, then went back. But yeah, maples are nice. Philharmonics, nobody really likes them. They always sell for under spot, and you can get a deal on them. I got a bunch that were secondary that really not much. I think the edges got dinged up a little or something on them, but if you looked at them, they're pretty good. They weren't milky or spotty. And what causes that milky spottiness is when they process the blanks and coins. I guess they run them through a cleaning process with borax or something. And this has an effect over time. It creates that milky, spotty stuff that nobody likes. But then again, like I said, about 90% of the people out there, like if I told them, hey man, I owe you $35, so you take this ounce of silver, the answer's going to be no. Okay, you can't go to the gas station and say, hey, can you give me $35 worth of gas for this? And, no. So, it is a question. But I guess we're on the verge. I guess I was right that, listening to this, things are in flux, and we're going to see where it goes, guys. I just did a live real quick here. I've got some people showing up, so it's interesting. I started this channel on the side. I really haven't done much work. I recently accumulated several small lots of coins for me and a buddy of mine, and I'm going to post the videos as I get the time. just unboxing and looking at stuff we got. And it's pretty wild. Ordered it one weekend, and by the time it arrived Friday, everything's $3 more than what it was, when I bought it last week. So it was pretty much a windfall. We, like they say, we got to see where it levels out or how long it stays there uh, with the spot price. Which, let's check it again. I like doing this. 34.14. All right, not much movement, but I guess we will see what happens by the end of the day, where it all goes. But yeah, today, the reason I did the lives, I wanted to get something done without filming it, then processing it, editing it, and all that other stuff. Actually, a friend of mine asked me to come help him. He's building a utility shed, and he got the floor joists in pretty good by himself, but he wants to sheet the floor down and put up the walls and all that other stuff. You kind of need two guys to do that. So we're all retired now. This is what you got to look forward to. You sit around watching TV, and all of a sudden someone goes, I want to go build a utility shed for this guy. Come on over and help me. And it's like, wow, I got something to do today. So yeah, it'd be fun. It's not big. My wife, what are you doing? I said, it ain't like we're building a house. We're building a little tiny shed. I think I can handle it. But no, I got like up to 14 people here, which to me, if that's the case, and you gentlemen here, I got Tyler, Gerald, Tyler, well, Tyler and Gerald seem to be very vocal. I can do this on another platform, StreamYard, and then your comments I can put below. So when you go back to watch the live, we can see the comments. But if you guys are interested in me doing more lives and you want to discuss things, or I can actually, with StreamYard, I can bring someone on and we can talk and discuss together. Because my other channel is a gun channel, and we talk about collecting firearms and reloading and things like that. But this is the first time I did a live here, and actually just spontaneously doing this so early in the morning. It's like 8 o'clock Eastern Standard. Is at 9? Yeah, 9. Got about as many people turning out as I did for my other live. So if you guys like that, leave something in the comments, and I'll see if I can leave a time which would be convenient for everyone. And I can do more lives, and I can bring, if you want to be a guest or something, and talk about stacking silver, talk about the economy, politics, whatever the hell you want. I like having chats and talking to different people from different places and that. So I'll do that. And thank you all for showing up. I mean, got some likes and everything there, got some comments, but I got to get ready to go out and start building a shed. And we'll see where the market goes with the metals today. There's a pullback, or if it's going to just keep going, So thank you all, and hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned. And I'll do some more of these. I got people interested. All right. Thank you.